guys, welcome back. And I've got one word for you, windows. Now, if you've got them, and I bet you do, this video is for you. And I'm gonna make you a window ninja. So today is part 2 of my 3-part series on window treatments. And the first section, if you saw this video, was all about drapery. Well, today is all about shades. Ooh, this is gonna rock your world. So I always say that window treatments are just like other decorative installed elements, just like cabinets or hardware or pendant lighting. They have to function, they have to solve a problem, and they have to support your design style statement that you're trying to make. Within the category of shades, there's a lot of different options to consider, even just in each subcategory of Roman and roller. For instance, there's a flat Roman shade. There's a cascade Roman shade. There's a kind of what they call a rod Roman, or some people call it an aventura, which is a really good looking piece. It just depends on what you're shooting for. There's a pleated Roman. There's something called a tulip, a little bit more transitional or traditional looking, as is the softened Roman, which is definitely something that drops down in the center and pulls up. Very pretty, but a little bit softer. And then there's also one that still falls into the Roman category called an Austrian shade. Almost completely traditional in its look. You often see them at stage drapery as the loops that are being pulled up. So those are just Roman shades. Then within the pleated category of shades, there's cellular shades like silhouettes or the small cell ones. There's top down, bottom up, which means that they can not only drop from the top, but they can also move up from the bottom, which is great if you have a specific privacy situation. I use them all the time. And the third thing about cellulars, especially the smaller ones, that's great is that they come in a couple of tones. They can be white on the outside and then a color on the inside, but they also can come with liners, which means that they can have a blackout aspect to them or a thermal aspect, which is really great for my people who live in like massive cold or raging hot deserts. Now, fun factoid, Roman shades are actually called Roman because they have kind of this classic appearance, and they were originally used as a sun cover on the Roman Colosseum. So we have our little Roman friends to thank for that. So the next big category is roller shades. And so, like the name implies, the fabric rolls up onto a big roll up at the top, as opposed to the Roman shade, which folds up. So there's a couple styles here that you want to be aware of. There's things like solar Roman shades. Oh, those are great for thermal conditions. Double Venetian style that have a little cellular look, so they look a little bit like a blind. They're very nice. Textured wovens and papers, I love those. And reeds and grasses, different solutions, different looks, all good. Shades, honestly, guys, make the best solution for a very specific set of window categories. If you have any of the following: baseboard heaters, radiators under your windows. If you had bay windows, ooh, it's super big for that. If you have kitchens or bathroom windows, most houses have at least one of those. And if you have any skylights, they're the only solution, which is really fantastic because now you can get them so that they are electronically controlled, and that will save you a whole lot of agony. So with all these choices out there, how do you make a selection that both supports your design style statement and delivers the functions that you need? Well, I'm glad you asked. You can actually use either Roman shades or roller shades, any type of shade, with any of the big style categories, traditional, transitional, or even contemporary. It's all in how you choose your details. For example, if you're looking for a traditional shade of some sort, like this guy, oh my gosh, you want to look at a lot of detail on this. Often patterns and trims, textured woods, those are great. Softened versions are often used, that sort of Roman that has a little bit of a dip in the bottom. That's beautiful. Maybe a pretty pattern with a border on the edge. You can use the side panels, which are gorgeous. I love this one where the Roman shade with the soft bottom is in the same fabric as the wallpaper. Oh, that's a great look. So there's a lot of ways to kind of get that sort of traditional look with just the shade detail. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit more transitional, like many things, the shades would need to be similar to traditional, but kind of more of a muted palette. This is a perfect example. This has a lovely kind of a soft off-white that works, kind of blends well with the walls. Or this gray image. Ooh, that's so beautiful in the gray apartment, or I don't know where that is, but it's got some beautiful French doors. You're going to keep solids as opposed to patterns. Textures are good. And they can even be layered as a Roman shade over a smaller roller shade below. That's a kind of cool contemporary look, but if you do it in transitional fabrics, it really gives you a nice mix together. Wovens are also really good as an option here. And I even love the silhouette detail, which is that double Venetian that I was mentioning. That really has a pretty sort of a transitional, soft, light diffusing look, which looks great in this space. If you have any of the contemporary iterations as a style statement, shades are your friend, baby. Honestly, it's a laydown to do a solar roller shade in a contemporary space. I mean, they just look amazing, and they're very clean. They're very simply done. Solar fabrics are very good at blending in with the surrounding architecture, so that looks great. Make sure you do that valance though. Or you could pair them with a ripple fold drapery that was something super simple if you wanted. Inside or outside mounted on a Roman shade is also fine. Again, keep your slim valances. I love this white on white. Oh, that is so gorgeous in that apartment. Or, you know, this pretty silhouette, again, left plain. That's also very contemporary looking. So you can get a lot of different feels with just this roller shade option. They're great solutions for sliding glass doors. Say you have a whole wall of doors. Solar panels and things like that are great, or even the cellular ones, because they can pop up and stack really tight. And one more thing is you can absolutely double layer them in a contemporary setting as well. For instance, you can do a solar roller shade on the inside mount and then do a Roman shade that's completely matches the walls on the outside mount, and that way you get a double layer of both thermal protection and kind of privacy options. So these are great solutions for so many situations. Once you've made a selection about what type of window treatment you're going to use, whether it's a roller or a Roman shade, where do you get it made and how do you get it installed, right? I'm glad you asked. Basically, window treatments fall into two categories: custom and stock. And shades are the same as drapery. Anything that's made for your specific windows and is cut to a specific size and a specific window is custom, and it's not going to be returnable. And that is the bulk of most types of shades that are being made. And there's tons of great vendors out there for them. You can look for someplace local, always a good option, or you can look online to places like The Shade Store. They have beautiful products. I use them a lot. 3-Day Blinds, also good. Smith & Noble, and even Hunter Douglas, who produces that silhouette product, which is really useful and lovely. And for my international subs, I've checked it out, and if you go to Houzz, H-O-U-Z-Z, your city name, you can look up a lot of really great vendors. And I did that for everybody down in Australia. I did that for you guys in Europe, and it kept coming up with good solutions. So that's a great option for you guys. There's also another brand out there that looks like it's pretty global called Luxaflex, and I'm gonna link all of this down below. Now, if you're lucky enough to have even remotely standard sized windows, and some of us actually do, then there's a couple of vendors out there that do stock products that you'll be able to install without a problem. So you want to be looking at guys like West Elm, Pottery Barn, IKEA, Wayfair, Target, and even Home Depot and Lowe's has a couple of good options, and do them in an outside mount and they'd look great. So guys, here's what you need to remember about shades. If you've got windows that have any of these conditions, baseboard heaters, radiators, bay windows, any kitchens or any bathrooms or any skylights, shades are your absolute best solution. Either Roman or roller, inside mount, outside mount, alone, paired with drapery. We're talking ninja solutions. Okay guys, now be sure and go to lisaholt.com and get on my email list for the club. It is gonna be so fantastic. We're working on it day and night, and it's almost there, so you don't wanna miss out. So guys, I hope you enjoyed part 2 of this series. Part 3 is coming, and it's all about blinds and shutters. You don't wanna miss that either. Be sure and watch these videos, and I'll see you next week.
Breathe.